Something I was curious about something. All right. Now, I've been watching this for the better part. I want to say 2 years. Maybe the ad campaign has been going on a little longer than that. But it's one of these things. It's terrible. It's not very inventive, but I can't help but watch. And it's that little 2 to 2.5 foot Prince looking motherfucker who's on all those Dr. Pepper ads. What is that?
Little Sweet. Little Sweet, man.
Don't be talking about Little Sweet like that, bro.
Listen,
you check your tone. You check your tone already.
I watch it.
I will slap a bitch.
You look like you need some sweet refreshment.
It's the sweet stuff.
You cowboys have had a long day with rawhides. Would you get a Dr. Pepper?
What now you're just towely.
But
yeah, right. Yeah, you just slid into tally.
What?
No, he's one of the fucking. He's like a American Idol, like second or third placer. He's like a fucking not quite important American Idoler. You know what I mean?
Season 1, second place.
Is it Justin Guarini?
Yeah, he came in second place to come on, to Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
I think their career paths went the exact right directions.
Oh no, 100%.
Oh, so this guy was on American Idol.
Yeah.
Fared pretty well.
Kelly Clarkson, briefly America's Sweetheart.
Yeah.
She has a more like morning daytime talk show. Justin Guarini, he had an afro. They made a beach movie. And now he's a little sweet in Dr. Pepper commercials.
Yeah, but
sounds right.
Am I correct in my assumption that they were like, look, we're going to make a mic? I know Prince was a small guy. He was 5'4", 5'3", 5'5"-ish. But we're going to make half of that. He's going to crawl out of weird areas and woo women and wear scarves and boas and tight stuff and win people over with Dr. Pepper.
I think marketing nailed it. I think they were like, "Yep, this is what we're doing.
Yeah,
we're making ourselves a little Prince."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he does seem like he's modeled after Prince a little bit.
A little?
I don't think that was
you fucking kidding me?
I don't think that was the intention. Okay, Wesley, let me just say that old Justin Guarini, he just happens to have that complexion. Okay, the Prince-like complexion, because Prince was obviously a black man, but he did not necessarily have the standard African American complexion or the facial features. Same with Justin Guarini. And just because these two men happen to have a similar facial structure and facial tone, how dare you?
You think
it's the same person?
Facial structure and tone? No, it's the red scarf and the fucking blazer jacket and the tight V-neck and the bravado and the persona.
It's the color of the Dr. Pepper can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prince may have worn that once or twice while on stage, something like that.
No, I'm almost positive it's a Prince outfit. Like they were like, look, we'll just make it fucking burgundy. Like it would just it's just a short jump from purple. We could just Photoshop it all, quite frankly. And I think that's what happened.
Okay, so wait a minute. Are you kind of, and I'm not saying this is exactly what you're doing, but it feels like you're leaning towards the great people of Dr. Pepper reached out to Prince at some point before his untimely passing, and Prince was like, I don't know what the fuck Dr. Pepper is. I ain't doing that shit. And then they were also like, we also can't afford to pay you the $500 million that you suggested in the contractual negotiation. So we're going to go with Justin, and are you suggesting that maybe they reached out to Prince and Prince just said, you can't afford me? And so
yeah, I think it was a phone call, and he was like, what's Dr. Pepper? I don't even know what soda is. I'm from Mars.
No, I already.
And then this was totally verbal, and they were like, "So, do you mind if we like use your likeness?" And he was like, "It's the sweet one," and then fucking hung up. And then there was no legal reason for them not to use that, so they were like, "Fuck it, that's ours now." And now Prince is dead, and he's probably getting no money from it.
Do you think this ad campaign came out after Prince died? When did Prince die?
No, Little Sweet was around before, pre Prince death.
2016.
20 yeah. I would say Little Sweet was like a Super Bowl commercial like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Little Sweet's had a good run. He's had a sweet little run, if you will.
2017.
Ooh.
Which one? Prince or Little Sweet?
Little Sweet. Prince died in 2016, but it does say that I see a 2016 and a 2017. So
I was gonna say I see 2016 ads here. Okay. So
well, maybe it was. Maybe someone in the Dr. Pepper's. Maybe there is a doctor.
Yeah, maybe on like death's door, he got one last endorsement deal, and the family's just raking in Dr. Pepper dollars on fucking Justin Guarini's likeness.
Yeah. Maybe Prince kicked out his regular doctor out of the room. It's like, send in a Dr. Pepper. It's a sweet one.
Send the sweet one. Yeah, that's what it was.
What does he say when he's confronting the ranchers? That's a good one. That's a funny one.
They're so good. Now I'm gonna go watch them all.
Wait, all the little sweet ads? No, I don't have the little sweet ads like locked out.
I don't have them memorized.
I just know they're clever, and I like Little Sweet. And anytime somebody's mean to Little Sweet in an ad, I kind of start to choke up a little bit. Like, don't drink Little Sweet like that, man. I don't even like Dr. Pepper. I love Little Sweet.
I think.
Yeah.
What's the Mellow Yellow counterpart to Dr. Pepper? Mr. Pibb.
Mr. Pibb.
Yeah, they ought to.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Pibb is legit though.
Right,
well,
but I'm saying Mr. Pibb ought to do like a bite off of Little Sweet.
We're not talking about like you're talking about like that food line and shit, like the Dr. Thunder and shit. That's the real fake shit.
No, but my point is, Dr. Pepper ought to bite off of this, or Mr. Pibb ought to bite off of this. They ought to use like something similar.
They should make like a little savory.
Yeah,
a little savory.
They had to kick the tires on it, at least.
It's the meat one.
Yeah.
It just tastes like meat. Hey, Mr. Pibb, you're welcome. Give us a call.
That's right. I couldn't tell you the last time I've had Mr. Pibb.
I think Dr. Pepper is actually the first soda ever invented, too.
It is, I think. Yeah, I believe that is correct.
Ooh.
And they have no idea. Like, they what is it, 32 flavors? Is that what's supposed to be in there?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't fucking know. They bullshitting. They got like, they wrote down like 10 and we're like, we can't tell you the rest because you don't fucking know. It's just chemicals and shit that just happen to taste away. And
they were like, we took cherry cough syrup, put fucking Coca-Cola in it. Now it's Dr. Pepper. This is our thing. This is our thing now. We sprinkled like a bit of cinnamon and like that's about it. We went the whole fucking the KFC fucking 11 herbs and spices, just in fucking root beer.
Yeah,
now it's Dr. Pepper.
I think the Colonel and Dr. Pepper are going to have to collab. I think they're going to have to get into the sound booth together, come up with some good shit.
Oh, yeah, I think the Little Sweet and fucking Colonel Sanders need to cut a promo.
Oh, fuck. I think the Colonel is a little too bigoted to be in the same sound booth as Little Sweet. He might, though.
I don't know, man. Well, not as the Colonel always says, money. It's always
I know that this is just a screen capture, but I cannot. Do I have the share? Can I have the share?
I'll make sure you do.
I'm trying. I think I know what I want to be for Halloween.
Little Sweet?
Oh, God.
Yeah. But just this pose all night long. I can't find a bigger version of it because it's a screen cap. But fucking, let's see. Where'd I got you at?
And I'll go as Prince. It'd be perfect.
Yeah. This one right here in particular. 2 cans?
I was going to say, if you have anything saved over from Western Wear Wednesday, I think you've got a good base, good foundation.
And see, this is the jacket I tried to buy, but Kelly was like, no, Western Wear Wednesday's over. I was like, damn it, look at it. Look at how authentic. Yeah, I'm trying to be him. I think we're being him for Halloween.
That's pretty good. I've already scouted out. The boy is finally into been watching The Mandalorian. And
nice.
he's really into the baby Grogu or baby Yoda. Spoiler.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about, oh shit, I could go as the Mandalorian. And then I'm like, I ain't buying no cheap ass Bobo fucking helmet. If I'm buying a helmet, I'm buying a $200 helmet.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out other reasons to have to wear the helmet instead of just one time, probably for Halloween in the year 2022.
You be Boba Fett 10 years from now. Every Halloween.
Trips to the gas station, fucking weekly scheduled sexings with your wife, right. Fucking Halloween, fucking miscellaneous costume part. Dude, you're done. You've already return on investment. Done. Fucking boom.
Good point.
You're good to
go.
Man,
if the pandemic ever comes back in, that's the mask you want to wear in public.
Yeah. Or as your negotiator for work. Like, look, I'm going to send in my negotiator. He's going to get me a higher raise. He'll be in about 15 seconds. Hang tight. Walk out. You come back in with the helmet on. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not Murr.
Be like, hey, I'm going to take $100,000. This is the way, and then just walk out.
Yeah.
And just turn around.
You come back in, and be like, well, how'd it go? Everything all right? What do you say?
Did he tell you it's the way? Because if it's the way, then Here
Well,
we
Wes
are.
hasn't even watched the show yet. The greatest Star Wars series that's ever been created. Still haven't watched it. Pretends like he's some kind of Star Wars fan.
I'm not a Star Wars
Plus,
fan.
there's like 2.5 seasons of it if you consider the fact that the end of the second half of Boba Fett is just basically the Mandalorian. So
yeah, exactly. Which is what makes it great. Which is
totally
what they
worth
needed
it.
to do.
Yeah.
Just totally. When there is a shark in the water, you put those fucking skis on, that leather jacket, and you hit that fucking speedboat, full tilt, throttle, and fucking jump it.
Like, at this point, fucking, they could totally ruin canon and just inject Mandalorian and Grogu into anything. Like this new Obi-Wan coming up, like it could just be them walking through the background, like eating noodles. And totally there, made it better. It's perfectly fine.
Would Boba slurp him through like breathing holes?
Nah, I mean he just goes up under.
Oh, okay. He's got a little more couth than that.
Go up under. Yeah.
The bounty hunter don't fuck around when he's eating noodles, though.
Yeah. And then Grogu just he force eats frogs and stuff. It's a thing.
Yeah, you gotta watch the goddamn.
You gotta watch the show. This is what it is.
All right, I gotta get Apple TV. I don't have Apple TV. I gotta pay more for that. It's
not even on that.
It's not even. It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Sorry, yeah, I gotta get Disney Plus. Blah 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 blah. All right. Lay off my.
I know,
ass.
like it's some hassle. It's literally like 30 seconds and $20 a year.
Quality entertainment.
Where could I ever find it?
Such work.
Fuck middle classholes, everyone. Hey, have a good night. I'm out of here. You two run the fucking show. All right. We had an exciting weekend. Now Major League Baseball is back. All right. Apparently they're gearing up for I think it's April 10th, first pitch.
April 7th, I thought.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Well, for us.
But it looked as though NFL, for at least for about 2 or 3 weeks, was handling all the tabloids, all the biz, all the websites, all the hubbub, all the sports news. Not all of it, but a fair amount, because you had Aaron Rodgers signing ridiculous contracts, $158 million guaranteed. Russell Wilson gets shipped off to Denver for a fuckload.
That was wild.
Yeah, that was wild. Carson Wentz gets traded to the Commanders. You got Carson the Commander now at the helm. He's going to come out in a fucking Boba Fett helmet on first day at FedEx. Probably the biggest news was moron Calvin Ridley, who's taking a mental health break from the season, throws down $1,500 of his own money on, I think what I heard or I read was like a 5 or 6 game parlay, which is fucking stupid. The odds of that. I mean, he's filthy rich, so it's whatever. But uses his own name under a betting app with his GPS on out of his own bank account, and he cost himself $11 million. How fucking stupid do you have to fucking be?
Wait, how much was the parlay?
Did he hit? Christ, I don't know.
Did he hit?
He did not. No.
I mean, imagine if he hit for $13 million, and then he just got to sit out a year and rest.
It's actually a good idea. I mean, the odds of that, though. I mean, it was 100% he would have played. 100% if he didn't bet that money, he was going to get $11 million.
Okay, so when he made the bet, was he on his mental health break from the team?
So they say.
Was he playing football?
But no, he was not suiting up that week or the week before or after. I think it was the middle of a 3-game hiatus.
So technically, he didn't have any way of. All I'm getting at is he technically didn't have any way of influencing the games. So I get it. You're not supposed to do it. But is that look? We've seen some pretty atrocious offenses happen off the field in the NFL that have not resulted in full season suspensions. And a guy betting on football that's not even playing, it just doesn't seem like a full season is the right.
Right or wrong, agree with it or disagree with it. The rule is
disagree.
You sign that fucking contract, bucko, and no sports betting. That's it.
Okay.
Them's the rules. And do I agree with it? I mean, I do. I don't think you should be gambling on at least football. Don't be gambling on the sport that you play, that under the banner or logo or shield that makes you a millionaire. Now, if you want to start getting, muddy in the waters of betting on other sports, and we're naive as fuck to think that he's the only person that did it. Oh God, one person of them. No, Christ, these guys just go through other people, family members, friends, whatever. They just are smart enough to not do it on their own phone with a profile that they opened with their name linked to their bank account.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm just playing devil's advocate a little bit here.
Mhm.
But like, what's the problem with them betting on as long as it's never like for or against your team?
So
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the counter to that is that these people are so glued into the league that they are so entrenched, and they have outlets to where they can figure out insider information, whether it be a phone call to a phone call. They know people that will be able to get them information that may leverage some sort of advantage. Where people are their game time decision, and they know a day before that player isn't going to play. So you're one or a half step away from knowing too much.
I mean, I get it. I get the logic, but I also think that the NFL needs to jazz it up. Okay, like maybe we need to see catastrophic injuries because someone stops blocking because they're trying to win a 5-game parlay. Okay, maybe that. Hey, it sounds terrible to the person who might die, but I would watch it. Is all I'm saying.
We watch another Joe Theismann because someone was like, "Oh man, got my signing bonus coming up, and then some. Go ahead, Mister D. End. Go sabotage his career."
I'm just saying the quality of the NFL is, let's call it mediocre at best. So hey, let's jazz it up. At this point,
this season, I will say this season was pretty good. But as far as having inside,
playoffs was really good. This season was kind of like meh season.
I did think the 17-game season was going to rub me the wrong way, but it was okay. I could put up with it.
I don't like for the first 10 weeks of the season. There was like on a Thursday night, a Sunday night, and a Monday night. There was like at least 2 overtime games every week for the first 10 weeks.
I think I've touched on this before. Like, that's it, too. It's like, remember when you used to watch, 14 games on a Sunday and then, maybe on occasional Monday? And now you're like, hey, why don't you watch that Wednesday night fucking hopper? And then Thursday. Don't forget about Friday. Saturday college football fucking triple header. Oh, Sunday night, Monday night. Ooh, Thursday again. Right. It's fucking ridiculous.
College has a Friday primetime game now, and then they also they do the Monday before NFL kicks off, and then when college is done, the NFL slides into that Saturday slot because can't forget that.
Hey, but just remember, baseball's back on, fellas. It just goes to show you how baseball needed to get this deal done because they were getting ready to have their ratings trounced by tabloid rumor and hearsay. Adam Schefter should just have his own show. He should just have his own TMZ-style NFL show. Is that guy allowed to bet on football? Because that guy is like a genie that's been rubbed by, Bill Belichick and whatever air was blown into Tom Brady's balls fucking 5 years ago, and just knows fucking everything.
I would have to think that ESPN as a company probably has some sort of contractual clause that doesn't allow their their employees to do that. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Adam Schefter can walk into Caesars and make stupid 5-game parlays. I have no idea, but if I were a betting man, I'd bet the parlay that ESPN doesn't allow employees to do that. But I get your point. Yeah, was it Peter King, Monday morning quarterback? Probably same thing. Although I thought he's freelance. I think he's AP. But anywho, God, Ridley, what a moron, right? What an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, doing stuff like that, that costs you contracts that are extremely lucrative, are just kind of dumb on the surface of things. Now, do I think the reasoning's dumb? Yes, I agree with Murr. He should be able to bet on himself and then watch a guy get killed. But either way, he shouldn't have done it. He's dumb. It's didn't Ben ride a motorcycle and hit a tree or something and get in trouble after he raped a broad?
Yeah, because that was in his. Well, the raping wasn't in the contract, but he wasn't allowed to ride motorcycles. That was in his contract.
I'm sure the raping's in the contract in a way that doesn't say rape.
Conduct.
It might not use the terminology, but
sure.
I think that falls under conduct unbecoming of a professional or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
So.
Yes.
They're getting real specific with those NFL contracts these days.
But I mean, okay, this guy's 27. All right. He's going to miss
27.
Yeah, he's going to miss this season.
It feels like he's been around forever.
And you can. I mean, with this type of stuff, how often do teams you know what? You come back in a year. We'll have your locker for you. We're not going to take down your name plaque. Don't you worry, Bucko. This spot ain't going anywhere.
If I'm him, I'm honestly probably pretty peeved about it because I mean, what Ray Rice get like 2 games after appeal, 4 games maybe.
I think it was like it was quote unquote significant at the time. I think it ended up being like 6 by the time it was all said and done.
Yeah. Okay.
AP got caught like whipping his kid. He got like 2 games. There's look. There's been multiple motherfuckers who beat bitches and they get like a couple games. And my man bet on some wild parlay that would never fucking hit and didn't, and he's gone for a year. So NFL, come on.
Yes, I think it's a bit of an apples to oranges argument in that I do think that the domestic abuse thing should be handled a little more rigidly, but no pun intended. But I do think that no, you can't, as a player, you can't bet on your team on a spread. You can't, that takes away from the sanctity of the sport. You can't bet on Atlanta on a game you're playing in to say like, yeah, we aren't going to cover a spread. On the field, you have direct a way of influencing the game.
I agree with that. I don't think you should ever be allowed to bet for or against your team, but I don't know. I don't see necessarily the harm in other teams because yes, they do have inside information, but if they had inside information that was going to benefit them, then they would just win the games anyway. Like coaches study all 31 other teams in the league. But if they're going to win every week, the best way to do it is not allow any of it. Because if you allow people to bet on other games, these guys are all friends for the most part. A lot of these guys went to college together, played on teams together, know each other, friends, spends all seasons doing workouts together. You don't think of like, hey man, we got this really good shiesty parlay coming up that's going to win us fucking millions. We need you to drop a few passes. Cool. Got it, man. What's my cut? You don't think that would happen? It totes the line of I really don't because they're already getting paid so handsomely. I think it's just that adrenaline of like putting money on the game makes the game more fun to watch. That's why people gamble for the most part. That's why people get involved in fantasy football.
Bet on a different sport. Bet on college football.
Okay.
Bet on golf. It's fucking fun. That's my new thing now. That's
a good point. Players is on. Hell yeah.
I've been making some cheese every fucking Sunday, bro. It's easy money.
You're making G's every Sunday?
I said I'm making cheese.
Oh.
And no, I mean, I could in theory. I haven't gotten that risky with it yet, but I have not lost is what I'm telling you.
Okay. You got money on the players?
It's the Genesis. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, you should check it out.
Care to float a little teaser out for the players that you got going on? Something
on your motherfucking business, motherfucker.
I'm just saying, man. Like you throw something out, a little dangle the carrot. Someone's listening and be like, hey, but if you want the full insider information, log into the middle class holes and pay us money. We got you. We could turn this into a whole, empire.
We probably could fucking do that. Actually, that's a thing. Well. Hey, check us out on our Patreon that I'm going to set up right after this show. If you would like some insider tips on who might win the players.
That's right.
I don't really know, but I'm going to make an educated guess at.
I saw Varner was winning. Harold Varner.
One, I knew he wasn't winning because nobody that goes out, shoots 7 under day one at Sawgrass is going to fucking last. So, and then he got to 17 and was like, and vomited all over the fucking front of his shirt. It was like,
hopefully he didn't get on the Jordans, right?
No, he did not get it on the Jordans. Them 12s were clean now. It was funny. I was like, I almost bought them, and my wife was like, those shits are ugly. I was like, sweet. Good thing I didn't buy those $200 golf shoes.
I thought so
for my wife to be like, those are ugly.
That she'll never see you in because you'll be away from her when you wear them.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's gonna be exciting weekend. I'm excited. If you're
those are 100% ugly. I certainly wasn't eyeballing them or following any of it on eBay. No way, not for me.
Yeah, no. If I'm gonna buy Jordans, I'm gonna get like some fucking like 5s or 4s.
Oh yeah, those are money.
Yeah.
Murr, you
talk about Murr? Yeah. You know, right?
Yes, I am aware. You're talking about
shoes. You got a little glassy eyed over there. I just want to make sure you're still with us.
Comfortable footwear, of course.
They're not that comfortable, actually. That's the problem.
Some of them are awful, yes, and some of them are actually really comfortable.
Because I have some Air Force Ones that I enjoy to look at. But like when I get home, I'm like, oh, please, God, get these things off.
Oh no, Air Force Ones are the most uncomfortable shoe on the planet. I don't get it. Here's the one thing that I will say: if it's like a mainstream, generally geared towards male shoe, but like white females from ages 15 to like 22 wear them religiously, they're the most uncomfortable fucking tennis shoe on the planet. But they're wearing them bitches, the crispy Air Force Ones, all over Federal Hill on a Friday night. But lots of hurt feet. They're the worst.
I do have to say, women's footwear, like it's not even built with like any technology at all. I saw some woman wearing like those like ballerina slipper things, and I'm like, you're walking across a dirty city street with like a millimeter of fabric between your foot and the ground. Like, how are all the discs in your lower back not exploding with every footstep you're taking? And she was like in her 30s, and I'm thinking, like, how long have you been wearing shit shoes just to look fanciful your entire life? Like, there should be some sort of physiological study done on women's feet, knees, hips, and back. Like, how are they surviving when the rest of us need like 4 inches of like I don't know, cushioning that was developed in a NASA laboratory?
Yeah. No, you got a point, man. Because like I've always wondered, like back to the straight early 2000s when like young ladies only wore those like $1 pair of rubber Old Navy flip flops, and then they would wear them on like 12-mile fucking bar crawls. And I was like, man, I've got like orthopedic rainbow sandals on, and my legs are about to fall off, and I'm drunk. And you've been doing this in those $1. They're literally $1. Y'all used to wait for the day that Old Navy was like $1 flip flops, y'all, and fucking go pick up every color under the sun, and you walk in them like they're fucking hiking shoes. It boggles my mind.
Yeah,
the things women do for beauty is just
pain is beauty.
Unfathomable.
Beauty is pain, right? Isn't that whole? Isn't that what they say?
I'm what beautiful. They say? I don't put myself in that much pain.
Yeah. Did you jab a pencil in my eye? Stick a thread through my ass crack? Put some
like
heels on.
Aside, obviously heels. That's a thing. Like you see a lady in a pair of heels and be like, that just. I mean, you look nice, lady. But
yeah. Heels.
That looks terrible. Go ahead and put some fucking regular shoes on. I'm fine. I'm okay with it.
Heels are, you hit the nail on the head there. That's like, okay. All right. You're going out, you're wearing heels. I know about an hour into this, you're going to be fucking absolutely miserable. But for an hour, you're going to look fucking stunning. Your calves are going to be looking great. Legs are going to be looking great.
Yeah, booty cheeks popping.
Booty cheeks are popping out.
Glutes and shit.
You're looking 4 to 5 inches taller than you naturally are. But in about an hour's time, you're going to take it out on me. You're going to say your feet hurt, your calves hurt, everything hurts. Bring another pair of shoes. I'll carry your backpack. I'll carry that motherfucker. I'll carry the $1 Old Navy just for you. I
agree with you because you're gonna wear them out. You're gonna wear them out, and then we're gonna get all saucy, and then you're gonna kick them off, and you're gonna fucking barefooted around like Thames Street and Fells, and then you're gonna come home and be like, "Rub my feet hurt." No, you nasty bitch. You've been walking around the city all goddamn night barefoot because you decided to wear heels on cobblestones. Be better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're gonna go into Cooper's and want a scotch and milk.
Yeah, I know you're gonna be cutting up a rug to Blues in a Cat's Eye, fucking barefoot. No, get out of here.
I've seen this movie.
Put some tennis shoes on. It's bar hopping night. Stop it.
I've seen this movie. Ugh. In this news, our news bit for the week: woman attacked with feces to face and head while waiting for her NY City subway stop at rush hour. So this happened on East 241st Street. That's way the fuck up there. I'm relatively familiar with Manhattan, but 241, that's past Harlem, man. You're getting close to the top of Manhattan. Anyway, 5:15 p.m. rush hour, middle of the day. She's attacked by a guy. He's carrying a plastic bag, which it says doesn't really unidentified until, of course, he hits her with it. Then he mashes the hand holding the bag into her face before running off. It says, again, it appears that no words were exchanged, so no shit was talked. Yuck, yuck, yuck. They did end up.
Missed opportunity.
The suspect, identified as Frank, Nigerian last name that I'm going to butcher, so I'm not going to say it, was arrested Monday night.
I'd like to hear it. I'd like to hear it for
Let's give it a whirl.
Clarity and facts.
Abrokwa, Abrokwa, Abrokwa.
Yeah, that doesn't sound that far off.
Okay. Frank Abrokwa was arrested Monday night, hours after the video was released. The 37-year-old Abrokwa of the Bronx faces charges including forcible touching, menacing, and disorderly conduct and harassing. So your thoughts on Mr. Abrokwa taking a dump into I don't even know if he took a dump in the bag. Maybe he took a dump in the toilet and scooped it out with the bag, a dump on the floor, and then pitched it in there, or he just straight out opened a gallon bag, freezer bag, and pooped in that, and then opted to... There's no link to it. You know, he doesn't know this woman. He just said, hey, 241 Street, hopping off, first person I see, but blow, they're getting mushed.
Oh, I have a feeling maybe she looked at him in a way. There has to be more to the story than meets the poop to the eye. Maybe he, I don't know, maybe he was doing some vigilante justice. Maybe she has a large dog that was pooping in the small squares of grass around his neighborhood. Wow. And he was walking around with that bag of shit, saw her, knew the dog was hers, and said, here, you can have this back, bitch.
He had options. He was like, passive-aggressive letter that I tape around the neighborhood, or physical attack with dog feces. And he chose the latter.
You all commended me and championed me for what I did here in the community. Now you're calling me a passive-aggressive...
I don't think I championed you. I just said that I was like, I knew it was you. Before you told me it was you.
Oh, I'm championing you still. I'm just saying that this is the next step. Like, you're going to figure it out. It's going to continue to happen. You're going to pick up that bag of dog shit one more time, and then you're going to see the person, know it's them, and something's going to snap in your little West Fox brain of yours, and that's going to be the next route. And it's going to be in an Uber, like, after a night at Fells Point. Like, that motherfucker.
Sarah,
Pigtown man, Wesley Fox, arrested for indecent touching.
Menacing
with feces, menacing.
God knows what that is. Yeah, Sarah will be in Fells Point. Sarah's worn her heels all night, is nagging me, so I'm pissed off. First of all, quick update: they did remulch a few of those squares with some nice fresh cedar wood chips. So I like to think that maybe I was the catalyst for a facelift here in the area. Second of all, okay, he had this in a bag. Okay. Was this planned for him to do this at this point in time, or does he always carry around a bag of poop just in case?
Maybe he's got a really long commute, and then when there's nobody on a specific train, he's got a pinch. He's got what was your phrase? He's got a
squeeze one off. Squeeze one off.
Okay, he's got to pinch one off. Maybe he shits in the bag, and then it's just like, ugh. Again, I feel like there's more to this story. Like, maybe she took his seat. Maybe he's just crazy and she took his seat, and then he didn't like that. And so when he got the chance, he did something. But did we not have a story when there's something about a homeless guy, like dumped a bucket of vomit on somebody that we had?
Oh, yeah. He barfed into like a drywall bucket. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just have the question I have, which is a worse attack? Having someone randomly dump a bucket of their vomit on you, or having miscellaneous poop smeared in your face on the subway? See, that kind of this is like what did we do before Fun Fact Friday? 3 and Out. This is kind of one of those questions, right? What would you rather do? And my father used to tell me this. He'd say you're in a what's like a wooden keg or some sort of tub that comes up to here, just full of shit, up to your neck, and someone throws a bucket of snot in your face. Do you duck? I was like, there was no right answer. You just, he was a litmus test. Do you duck into the shit, or you take the snot to the face? I think that's what you just asked. Yeah, it kind of is, but the obvious answer is you take the snot to the face.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely don't dunk your head in shit. So I guess my point is there is a right good answer.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a bucket of vomit dumped on your head or someone smear shit in your face? I think I go with vomit.
I don't know, Alan,
I'm
our
not confident.
Our chief biological fella, is there diseases or something that could be? I mean, obviously there's pink eye that could happen. Is there a shelf life of poop outside of the outside of your rear end that holds the pink eye bacteria?
I think it gets worse with time.
I mean, pink eye is really pink eye. Like 90% of pink eye, if I'm not mistaken, is just E. coli. So you can get pink eye real fucking easy. Okay. It's not that hard. Like a fart can do it. You don't even need the poo. You just need poo particles. So yeah, and I think, and we're not like, I think we're talking about pink eye, but pink eye is the least of her worries. Yeah. That man could be HIV positive. He could be COVID positive. I don't know. We don't know, man. But no, poop is like the barometer in medicine. Like when they're like, all right, man, we don't see nothing in your blood. We don't see nothing in your piss. Yeah, give us that poo. It's going to show what's wrong with you. So yeah, no, there's a very real possibility of definite sickness.
So you're opting for the bucket of vomit. That you think that's okay? Gotcha.
Yeah. No, but yeah, because I think it's just barely more sanitary. Just by like a fucking edge.
I feel like I have no logic to this. It's just how my brain's processing it. I feel like the stomach acid and bile is going to like kill most of whatever, is supposedly going to affect you. Maybe. I have no scientific backing for this logic, but something about shit. There's just something about shit.
You're right.
There's a reason, there's a reason that we avoid it and we gag when we drive past like a freshly sodded field, like right before the crops are planted. There's a reason that we revile it. Yeah.
And this woman here on 241st Street, I mean, there was no quote, but I think it's safe to say human to human, she wasn't real thrilled about what happened to her, right? It wasn't like she came out of the subway stop like, hey, look, honey, I'm home.
Pretty sure the quote's,
where's that bucket of throw up when I need it?
Wash your shit off my face.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Now listen up, fellas. Do you know the statistics on unprotected sex? Men are 3 to 5 times more likely to bust early. Don't be a pump and dump. Wrap it up. Now, back to more of the Middle Classholes.
I got an interesting email. All right, y'all ready for this? Got an email from it was the Maryland State Transportation thing, but as a valued customer of the MART train, we want to know if you want to take part in some sort of survey. I think it's a trap. I think they're on.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're about to give somebody your credit card information.
Yeah.
No, the email was legit. It was through them.
Did you respond in any capacity?
I read it. I did not click on any links or I mean, obviously, I think it's probably just at random. Okay. And my guess is that because I haven't purchased a MARC train ticket we're going on like 2.5 years that they, well, it's 2, no, hold on. No, just a shade under 2 years, about 2 years ago. It was about this time that I stopped doing it. Who's got their Facebook sheet open? Close it down. But no, I think it just like that's it. Hey, I'm gonna take. We want a valued customer response. We want a valued customer survey. But
you're neither one of those. You're neither valued nor a customer.
That's not true. Okay, I may have cut a few corners. All right, I may have ducked and dodged a penny here and there. All right, I don't want to hear this shit. I haven't responded. I'm not going to partake in that survey. All right, fuck that.
Okay. No, you should never partake in any surveys, especially any survey sent by a local or federal government. Not that I'm a conspiracy theorist or anything, but I did just do my taxes yesterday, And there was a question on TurboTax that I did not know the answer to, and I had to log into the IRS website. You know, they take a fucking like biometric scan of your face in order for you to set up a fucking login to that motherfucker. Like they sent me, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. However, I don't want to be audited for the next 5 years either for not knowing whether they gave me apparently I received $4,200 in stimulus money. And I was like, did I? Because I don't remember this. And TurboTax is like, doesn't look like you got it. Do you want it? I'm like, sure do. But sure don't want Uncle Sam knocking on my door next year. So I said, let me go check and see if I received this money. And the IRS sends me a text to my phone, then an email. Then I had to take a picture of the front and back of my driver's license. Then once they got that, had to wait 5 minutes for them to process that, sent me another link. And when I opened it, it opened an app on my phone where I'm looking at myself. And all of a sudden, like, it was like I was tripping on LSD. A red, a blue, a green, a yellow picture of my face starts flashing in front of me, and then it snaps, and it's like, we've got your biometric data. You can log in now.
We're going to send you a bag to poop in to mail back to us. That way we have that information as well.
Yeah, I could see how that'd be unsettling.
Yeah.
I mean, they already have that. Let's be clear. Yeah. They didn't need you to do that. But yeah, I could see how that would.
Well, they wanted to make sure that it wasn't someone else doing it. They have that information, but they want to make sure it's not.
That's what, I'm going to go conspiracy. That's what they would tell you.
I know. And believe me, my brain was going 1,000 miles a minute because I'm just like, ooh, I know they have this data, so why do they want me to give it to them voluntarily? But if I don't volunteer to give it to them, they're going to start thinking I'm part of the fucking queue. And if I'm part of the queue, then they're definitely going to audit me. But if I don't answer this question correctly on TurboTax, they're going to audit me anyway. It's a fucking trap. Fine. And then I felt like a weak little fucking bitch pig because I'm like, here's my biometric data, Uncle Sam. You can have it. I've been the knee to you.
And the next thing you know, Uncle Sam's going to show up, or a representative, and they're going to want you to give blood. Same time. Like, here, look.
Don't even start, because I felt guilty. I saw you put that clip up on several of our social media sites. I was waiting for fucking hate to come my way. Thankfully, nobody listens enough to give me the hate. But I was like, all right, fine. I feel a little guilty. I'm going to find where they're taking blood, American Red Cross, in my area. I found a location. However, they're doing it like on a Thursday between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And I'm like, you don't want my blood that much, you fuckers. Like, I'm willing to give it to you voluntarily for free. Why are they not just like, come on in? We'll stick you, prick you, and get you on your way.
Like kiosks with like robots that like and it dumps into some sort of blood bank in the kiosk.
I think they do when you don't live in the fucking boonies. Like if you're near a major metropolitan city, you could probably get it done. I'm pretty sure I could donate blood tomorrow.
Okay, they've got all these remote COVID sites set up in Cecil County. Let me tell you how many people are volunteering.
That sounds like a waste.
Yeah. Okay. So there's just some guy sitting in there smoking cigarettes, blowing them into the fucking smoke eater machine that's sucking all the air out of the fucking room, doing nothing. I mean, that guy could take my blood any time of day. So why don't they just set it up as a COVID test site / donate blood whenever you want site? So guess what? I get to keep it all. All these pints are mine. The only pints going in my body are coming from this nice green glass tonight, friends.
Fair enough.
He tried at least, you know. I'd give him that.
I will say, I'll give you that. And hey, speaking of conspiracies, folks, it's about time for another Q report.
Secret.
Epstein's alive.
It's alive. Pizzagate. The earth is flat. Hollow. Space is fake. You're part of the cabal. Man.
The Q report.
I almost forgot about the Tom Green alien thing, too. That always gets me. Welcome back, guys. Q Report. It's been a little while. Things have been quiet, right? The nutters have been really just Get
Calm
driving their-
always comes before the storm, Alan.
right? Yeah, that is correct. You've been following along, Murr. I appreciate it. They've been calmly driving their gas-guzzling 18-wheelers around while gas skyrockets, just to make sure everyone knows they don't like mask mandates that don't
Or
exist.
are gas prices going up because truckers are finally putting their foot down and starting to drive their vehicles, and they're like, all right, well, fine. You guys want to fucking protest for $10,000 a year? Be my guest.
Maybe? Nah, I don't know.
I think that is.
I venture to guess it has something to do with geopolitics and a lot of many other factors, but we'll get there.
And peaceful protests don't have anything to do with geopolitics? Interesting.
Peaceful protests? Yeah. We'll leave it at that. That peaceful drive on a Rady 495 really did a lot of good. It was good times. But yeah, man, so we're here. We got war, right? World War III about to happen. Maybe. Possibly. Hopefully. Fuck it. Let's just go ahead and let's just go ahead and accelerate the extinction of the human race now. Let's just fucking get it done. I want to live Book of Eli style. I want to fucking carry around the last Bible just so that I could possibly start a cult, because that's pretty much my calling anyway. But I digress, guys. The Q Nutters are back in full force. They're done driving around their trucks to Canada and to DC, and they've settled on the war in Ukraine as obviously the new topic of interest, right? What's going on in Ukraine? So, guys, I don't even know where to start. Again, I had to take significant notes. I don't write anymore because I have computers, and I had to write like a whole page of notes because I don't fucking understand where these guys are going anymore. I think the QAnon brain meld is starting to just break. It's splintered, but now we're seeing like straight 2x4 snapped in half in the QAnon realm. There's a million different reasons why they think that the Ukraine war is both awesome and not awesome. They have splintered right down the middle in supporting Putin and not supporting Putin. There's a big chunk of them that say, yes, sir, Putin, you're our guy. And I'll tell you why. We'll start with one. There's like 4 of these, and I'm going to run down for you. You guys tell me what you think about all of these conspiracy.
Yeah, I think from the small dissertation you gave me pre-show,
yeah,
I'm gonna need you to. We're gonna have to break each point down.
I'll give you some options. I got some options for you. So, the main one, of course, and it's just very simple, and probably the sanest of the conspiracies, is that they stand with the Ukrainians because the Ukrainians, like themselves, are fighting tyranny. Mask mandates, vax mandates equates to Ukrainian war, Ukrainians being invaded by authoritarian Russia. Simple as that. Fair. I mean, it's absolutely outlandish to draw parallels between those two things, but the sanest of the arguments, right?
Yes. I don't like the parallel of like mask mandates versus a tyrannical dictator who's decided to impose his will upon a free-willed people. Yeah, that happens to just be the reason that I stand with the Ukrainians. I don't know much about their politics, but I know that they're a free people and they don't deserve to be trounced by a world power.
Like I said, I would say the silver lining to that one is that they are anti-Russia, pro-Ukraine, and I think that's okay. I think that's a decent place to be.
Yay, Q.
Commendable.
Yeah.
So Q.
So I think that the parallels were also poo-pooed on by D. Snyder, but
yes,
again, if you're trying to gauge crazy versus sane, this one seems like okay, yeah. It just sounds like someone stupid was like, yeah, and you're like, all right, stupid. Okay, fair enough.
All right, well, your heart's kind of in the right place, but you're still an idiot.
I could imagine. By the way, I could imagine like showing up to that particular rally, and they're like, yeah, just like the mask mandates. And I'm like, God. Nah, I gotta go. God damn it.
I tried to support. Yeah. So like I said, sanest of the bunch, but obviously some holes in that story. We get to number 2, like I alluded to earlier, pro-Putin. We're all about it. We like Putin now. There's a certain section of the demographic that is pro-Putin. My wife was looking at not me, QAnon, not me, not us.
It's a normal.
Walked in at the wrong time.
It's a normal. It's a normal podcast. We're not
disclaimer. So
she walked in with a bag of poop ready to shove.
She was just straight looking at me like, "What?"
I knew you all were talking about crazy shit, but damn. Okay.
No, but of course, pro-Putin means that you can't go anywhere with Putin or without tying our boy Donnie T into the mix. So the theory here is that old Don Trumpito, former president / current president / former president, and Vladimir Putin, Comrade Putin, they're in cahoots as they would be, because Trumpito thinks he's a genius for this move, so that the invasion is not an imperialist war. It has nothing to do with Russia wanting Ukraine back. What it really is the duo of Trump and Putin are dismantling biological research sites throughout the Ukraine. They believe, and this is an added level, this is where the conspiracy gets a little crazy, is that, hey, remember when QAnon was like fucking made in China, COVID's made in China? Fun fact, it wasn't. It was made in the Ukraine by Anthony Fauci, possibly funded by Hillary Clinton and a lot of the global elites. And then maybe it found its way over to China so we could try to politically blame them. But at the end of the day, U.S. involvement in Ukraine is to stop Russia and the world finding out about our biological dealings and Fauci's misgivings in Ukraine.
Okay, so pause. So Putin is doing the dirty work of Don and helping get rid of the biological terror potential that is being created in these laboratories. So
Correct.
According to QAnon, Putin is really doing the world a service, but because it's not politically advantageous to the Democrats, they're blaming him for other reasons.
Correct. You got it.
Okay. All right.
Is there anything in this about these biological, weapons being created in Chernobyl? Did they float? Did you come across any of that dealings?
So we haven't gotten to nuclear stuff yet. So I think it's just to wrap nuclear disaster and fallout, you have to have even the most basic understanding of physics and chemistry, and this crowd lacks that. So I think they stay away from that one.
Okay,
just because
I don't want to get, since we're in the conspiracy theory segment, I just want to throw a conspiracy out there about Chernobyl, and I'm finding that I'm actually presenting this from a realistic possibility. So they're using Chernobyl as a staging ground, which is odd, and they took it offline, which again is odd. And Putin's also threatened to use nukes in some capacity, just as a blank threat. I personally believe that if that is a true threat, that's where they're going to store their nuclear devices, because there's already radiation coming off of the site, and it's got the concrete casket over top of it, which would also shield a lot of radioactivity. So I believe that if he is actually being honest about potentially using these weapons and getting them ready, that's the staging ground, so that they can't be detected because there's already detectable radiation there.
I'm going to digress with you for 1 second, because
yes.
I like where your head's at, but I also think that to maybe have him escape a little bit of responsibility at the end of all of this, which, I mean, there's no going to be the tribunal. He's going to be hanging. He's either taking a long jump off a tall building, or he's going to be hung somewhere. But I think instead of storing the stuff there and using it as a prep site for launching a nuclear attack, I think when he does or does not have an issue with this invasion into Ukraine, he just goes ahead and fucking cracks that cement tomb and walks away. You get what I'm saying?
Just
like, instead of shooting a bomb, let's just open it up and walk away.
Yeah, that's a possibility too.
You know what I'm saying? Because then you really damage the Ukraine for the people who were want to come back to their country. I mean, he fucks Belarus in the process because it's basically on the border, but he doesn't give a fuck about that guy. That guy. So
guy.
Guys, we did digress. We did digress for a minute. We'll get to Bulgaria or Belarus and Bulgaria. Don't you worry. But yeah, it's like I said, guys. So they think that's what it is. They think we're hiding secret labs. Many of the major QAnon influencers have gotten behind that one. A couple of them have tweeted out that we have been conducting biological experiments on Ukrainian soldiers currently, like over there in Ukraine. So we're helping Ukraine, but we're conducting biological experiments on them as well. So that makes a lot of sense.
I can only hope that they be as hot as Scarlet Joe, like the Black Widow.
Absolutely. Candace Owens, never one to miss a good time to play Aunt Thomasina, got on her high horse and said, "We're now experiencing foreign policy COVID. That's right. Experts pretending that what is happening between Russia and Ukraine is a naturally occurring event, when in fact it was manufactured in a lab by the people who stood to benefit trillions." Grifter's gone to grift. Candace Owens getting on in there. You know it, baby. So that's a little taste of what you're getting on that, guys. Like,
I just can't help but think that they just couldn't help themselves from getting Trump back in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? It's just I get that it's the Q by nature, but it was like, yeah, he's with Putin and they're the king and the queen in this whole chess match. Trump's the king, obviously, and they're positioning because the Ukraine did it, and he's actually still doing God and Uncle Sam's work because he's still president, kind of. I guess. I mean, that's my QAnon crazy rant right there. But
I don't think you're wrong. I think that these people lack I don't want to call them followers because I don't want to get shot in the back of the head walking down the street tomorrow. But I feel like they're dumb enough to where they need some sort of authoritarian presence.
Okay.
And with Donald out of the picture and obviously lacking any respect for Biden or Kamala Harris, which, dude, I don't blame them for that one anyway. But they need an authoritarian on a global stage to get behind, and anybody that's willing to invade a free nation seems pretty authoritative. So let's get behind that one. Can't be because he's an asshole. It has to be because he's got inner knowledge that we're not aware of.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, 100%. I like this is the one that's, obviously the most, I think, politically driven. Obviously, it involves the Trump, it involves Biden covering up for Fauci,
right.
All of that good stuff. You know what I mean? So it's a big, and this kind of that all kind of spitballs into just a small branch of this one is obviously all of this is deep state, George Soros, fucking Jew media elite. Rigmarole. So if you were to even want to silo that all by itself, it's its own other thing. Yeah, there's stuff going on in there, but while this is going on, the Jewish elite cabal that runs the world is behind the scenes making moves to, obviously move us to a cashless society. We're definitely going to rank each other on Facebook, things of that nature. Social rankings and things of that. So, like I said, little branch there. You take whatever you want from that one. And I think the last one, of course, obviously goes to just straight anti-Semitism. Fucking Zelensky, Jew, Ukraine, Jews, but they're also Nazis because Putin said there's Nazis, man. Why would he go in there to kill Nazis if there wasn't Nazis, right? That doesn't make any sense.
And the worst Nazi is a Jewish Nazi.
Yeah,
right.
And you gotta hate it. You gotta hate a Jewish Nazi because come on.
And Putin makes the most sense. I mean, when he's rambling on, it's nothing but coherent thought. So this is making sense.
The guy that shirtless rides on horseback is the guy absolutely riding in to save the Ukrainian people from fucking Nazi. Yeah. The country whose president had his grandparents killed in, the thing before with the Nazis. It seems like a real prime suspect for Naziing it up. So yeah, those are the big ones in a nutshell, guys. It's. I'll let you pick those apart. I think we picked them apart a little bit, but which one? Where are these guys going? I'm lost. The last couple times we've done this, I kind of knew where I thought they might be going. I think they're going straight to fucking crazy town.
I thought the whole thing after the raiding the Capitol was cohesion, like unity. Yeah. If this is like the branches of it, this seems less united than ever. This just seems like ramblings. Like, Christ, if you got these groups in a fucking gymnasium and be like, hey, look, we're going to lock the doors. You need to figure out what you all agree with and go to the drawing boards, and then we'll unlock the doors. They'd all be dead when we unlock the doors.
I'm starting to think that we actually need Uncle Sam to manufacture a real Q and have him come out. Like the anonymous face, like they have that guy that comes out in the V for Vendetta mask.
Yeah.
And they need to let him be, and then they need to give away literally like a tenth of like a state secret just to reunite these people and get them back Like, get the lemmings back, wrangled into a fucking nice little herd, just to keep track of them, man. This is when shit gets dangerous.
Yeah, no, this is 100%. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's just it. This is when shit gets dangerous, because then you have one of these people try to become the unifying leader by doing something really fucking terrible in a very fragile world. They're going to go out and they're going to try to assassinate somebody. I'm also torn. This is my point. I'm torn on the people that are going over there. I mean, part of me is like, God bless them. Like these retired like soldiers. They're going over to Ukraine to train, because one of them's going to be one of these guys and going to have a lot of thoughts on things, and it's going to share them. And it could get bad because of it.
You guys may not have been getting your news, but here's the news unfiltered.
Look,
here's the news they're not telling you.
Yeah. I didn't ever even think about that. Fuck me. That's a good point. That's because I think, as we know here in America, that portion of the population happens to have been susceptible to a little bit of radicalization in the last 2 years. So you're totally right. They could be going a little crazy over there. I'm going to hope for the best, because, like I said, I think a lot of there is a lot of sentiment that, like, this is not a war. Obviously, not a war we want to be in. It's very evident that we don't want to put boots on the ground. God, we'd never want to put boots in Europe again, really. But yeah, like, you've got these factions that are diametrically opposed to each other. Like, you've got groups of these QAnoners who are always teetering on, like, do I not mind fascists? Are they, like, kind of okay sometimes? Or nah, that's not me. I'm not into it. Totally against it. Whereas now we've gotten to the point where they're like, well, fascism sounding pretty good if we kill the Jews and we don't let cash go away. You know what I mean? So they're like, this means to this end, seeming reasonable. And that's, like Murr said, is a dangerous fucking road to start walking down.
I mean, a lot of this you have to blame on most of your mainstream media, because because these guys followed Trump, right? And then they said that Trump and Putin were working in cahoots. And then now Putin's doing this thing, and you've brainwashed a certain segment of the population to think that those two are working in cahoots. Mm-hmm. So if Trump is if Trump is this altruistic leader and Putin's his best friend, well, his best friend can't be doing anything but good things. That means something bad's got to be happening in Ukraine. He wouldn't do it. So we gotta support the guy. Yeah. And this is the danger and bad news and tabloid journalism.
It's a product of the information age that we're in, is that propaganda moves like that. Yes, the U.S. has been involved in biological labs in fucking Ukraine since the 80s. The fucking Pentagon will tell you. They're like, yeah, we know. We've been doing it. You know who built those labs? Fucking Putin's boys. Yeah, no, not us. They were USSR labs, and we were like, hey, you know who probably shouldn't have smallpox samples? Putin.
Right.
And so we went over there, and we were like, we're going to hang on to these labs for you guys and make sure that those fuckers don't get them in their hands. And so, as we've always said, that small shred of truth becomes, well, Fauci's over there cooking up COVID-20, motherfuckers, and he's going to send it to Indonesia and blame it on fucking the Asians. Like,
I'm sorry, Alan, I have to correct you. It would be COVID-22.
Sorry, yeah, my apologies. COVID-22. Yeah.
You're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. Mix the A with the B sample. Jesus. Yeah. Moron Jew. Ukrainian Jews. The worst.
You stupid Nazi Jews. You're messing it up. Mix this with this.
You know, and Paul McCartney is performing about 4 or 5 blocks east of my house. I wonder if he's going to play back in the USSR. He's going to do a lot of, might be bad timing.
It could be real bad timing.
Unless he changes the lyrics, which I could see him doing, then he could make it an amazing. Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Do you guys have any conspiracy theories before we get off the subject?
What's going on now?
Yeah, I have one. That's why I asked.
I'm interested to hear yours. No, I don't.
Okay, well, it does revolve around the gas prices, right? I feel like they've the quote unquote the straw man have really backed themselves into a corner with the raising of the gas prices. I genuinely believe that the gas prices are being raised to continue to push Green New Deal. And this is why I feel like they've backed themselves into a corner. They claim that the gas prices rising don't have anything to do with Russia. However, they went up 25 cents as soon as we put the sanction and said we're not going to buy Russian oil. Mm-hmm. So, and then they've also said that we don't get that much oil from Russia, so it doesn't have anything to do with it. So in two phrases, they've said it doesn't have anything to do with it, but it has everything to do with it. And then if you remember El Presidente Obama saying, like, I don't like that they're this high. They shouldn't have gotten there this quick. Almost like he showed his hand. Like, I wanted to raise gas prices so we could get off of oil, but it happened too fast. So now we got to get them down again. So I feel like the conspiracy that I have is that they're using this conflict in order to raise our gas prices in order to push through the Green New Deal. That's my conspiracy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's. I don't know that they're like vehemently, actively being like, "Yep, let's keep pumping it up. Let's keep fucking getting it up." But yeah, I think it's a situation of convenience. So like, well,
yeah, you don't waste a good crisis. Yeah. That's the whole point. Yeah. And because I keep hearing that we're pumping more today than we were under the Trump administration. Is it really? Because gas prices were like, I don't know, like $2.
Yeah, but it's also, keep in mind, like, production was down for a long time during COVID. Fucking of no control of the government. Those are, could give Exxon a call and fucking, all of those guys.
British Petroleum, yeah, right.
Yeah. Ask those guys why they're not refining more crude oil and pumping more out of the fucking ground, especially when they have approved permits to do so. But no, I do agree that it's probably they sure probably are using this as a vehicle to something. But the other things I think they make perfect sense. Like, yeah, we don't get a lot from Russia, but we are an exporter more. We export a lot of oil. We don't take a lot from them, but Russia does put a ton of oil into the fucking world market,
right?
Like Europe. So though we don't get it, once they stop pushing that into the world market, it affects the global price per barrel, and so gas goes up. So again, it's not so cut and dry, but I do think I would not be surprised if they are using it. And any Republican looking to get that new Green Deal, sorry, Wes, would be dumb to not be pushing it because it's what they want as their agenda. You know what I mean?
What I was going to ask is, and that's a great point, and I learned this. I didn't know this, and it makes sense. But the stuff from the Middle East is pretty fine oil, and the stuff that we've been pumping in from Canada is kind of mucky. Is there any? You guys familiar with this? You froze on me.
Is he locked up on you too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Should I restate my sentence there?
Stuff from the Middle East is pretty fine. Okay, stuff from the Middle East is pretty fine. That's where we went out.
Okay, and the stuff from the Middle East is pretty fine, but the stuff that we get from Canada, stuff that we pump down, is pretty mucky. It's not as actually like free flow like
Correct.
Oil out of a 1 quart thing that you dump into your car, which also kind of. It was explained to me in layman's terms that I had never heard before. I was like, wow, that actually kind of I wish I would have heard that 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's literally dirty. It's dirty oil. It's shit that we use to make plastics and products and shit like that. It's not gas oil.
Bingo. Okay. And it's real easy to refine the Saudi oil. And so that's what you end up getting your gasoline, your diesel, and all that other shit from. But we need it all. And again, I know I bring up Elon a lot, but he's always said, even if I was able to snap my fingers and everybody had an electric car, he's like, we'd still be pumping oil. I'm not saying we shouldn't. We just use it for other things that we need, but that lengthens the supply for decades, centuries possibly. If we're only using it to manufacture like hardware and goods and things that we touch, then we're still gonna need that shit.
Yeah.
But just let's limit like the way we have to refine it. And look, I'm cool. Here's my thing. You guys want to push this Green New Deal? How about we do it in baby steps so we can afford it? Because that's what, again, to me, what I feel is a reasonable Republican argument is that I want to be able to, I want all these things. Anything a Democrat says that they want tomorrow, I want too. But the pragmatist in me says, how do we afford it for the next 10, 20, 30 years? So give me a government rebate for $10,000 off my electric vehicle purchase. I'll buy my Tesla tomorrow.
They do. You get paid. You get paid for your electric car.
Nope, not now. Not now. They cut it off in 2019. I believe they shut that down.
I think you're wrong, but I
sounds like something Trump would do.
I saw this on a. I saw this on a Facebook debate. I'll send you the link. I think you're wrong, but it's okay.
No, please, please, no, because I check. Believe me, I check the Tesla site every day. I hate doing it because I check it every day, and it tells you how much your car would cost you after all of your rebates and incentives based on where you live, and it only takes like $2,000 off, and that's from the state of Maryland.
Oh, I thought you got like a tax credit though.
You used to. You don't anymore. I think it expired in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
But either way, all I'm saying is give me $10,000 off an electric vehicle, incentivize the states to do the same thing. Give me $3,000 off the state. You take $13,000 off that sticker price. It's sitting in my driveway as soon as Elon can stamp that fucker in Texas and send it my way.
Yeah, and it has a blood drawer that like goes to a reservoir in the front.
You can set an appointment for next Thursday.
No, you don't even have to set an appointment. You just get it while you're going to work. Of course, that's a safe thing to do. Get a quart of blood drawn from you while you're driving, but you need all your senses, and then just...
That's fine. I'll just turn on the autopilot and be like, take me to work and drain my blood.
Yeah, and then you just drop the cord off at the station.
Maybe they can figure out a way to power my car with my own universal blood.
Didn't Kramer tried that, didn't he? I think. Well, go ahead, Alan.
I agree with you, Mur. Like, yeah, no. I mean, you can't. And look, we are dependent on fossil fuels. That's how we built the backbone of this country and the world. So no, we can't. It can't happen overnight. We'd love all of those cool things. We'd love utopia tomorrow, wouldn't we? But it's just not going to happen. But I agree.
Fox News, and I know you love Fox News, but Fox News went out and did a thing. They went out like all these different rural communities and asked them, would you buy an electric car? And everybody said no, which I know you're shocked by. They said, why? They said, I can't afford it. They said, oh, would you buy one if you could afford it? They said, yeah. And I was shocked. We're talking to a guy who's driving around in a Ford F-350 with a fucking like diesel fucking blackout stack on the back of his truck saying, yeah, I'd buy one, but I can't fucking afford it. I'm like, really? So make them affordable. Throw these guys some bones. Let them, you know what I mean? Like, let them phase out fucking gasoline power. Anyway, I could go on about this all day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with that, but like, what's the cheapest electric car? Like, you don't got to get a Tesla to get a motherfucking electric car. I mean, you can get a Honda Fit. You know what I'm saying? Now,
that's not fully electric, and and they're as much as the bargain basement Model 3.
How about a Prius?
Yeah, like what's a well, I don't. Toyota raises their price. They rake motherfuckers because you will have that for the next 30 years. So
that's half and half. That's half gas, half electric, and that's in a base Model 3. I don't want the base Model. All right,
how much is the car you built? Is what I need to know. How much is the car that you look at every day to know that you're not going to get it?
With autopilot, $62,000.
Okay, so this Nissan Leaf.
Just buy a Porsche. Fuck that.
2022 Nissan Leaf, all fucking electric. Nissan Leaf starts at $27,000. So I'll tell you what, Cletus can go trade in that fucking dually 350 and stop spewing out diesel fumes. And I bet you what, he could probably buy his whole family a fleet of Nissan Leafs because he bought one truck that hits 8 miles to the gallon for fucking $80,000.
Oh, here's the thing, though. I will say that the Cybertruck, which is what Cletus is going to need for his his fledgling side project business, where he upgrades people's HVAC systems from fabricated HVAC systems that he's taken from construction sites. He's going to need that bed to throw those things in. So, but that thing's reasonable. That thing's $49,000, and it hasn't come to market yet. So I feel like that's. But you need these things to be both functional for whatever it is you're doing, and you have to convince people that want a fast car, a reasonably fast car, that this is the option. You get that Nissan Leaf, you're going to do 0 to 60 in 9 seconds. Americans.
Motherfucker, we want the environment. I don't give a shit
they
about
don't.
your. I don't give a shit about how fast your shit goes. I don't give a shit about. Look, and furthermore, I think let's go back to I believe we talked about it on here where I fucking read a very detailed statistical analysis about how like 87% of American fucking pickup truck owners don't actually use the fucking thing for what they would use it for.
You're right.
Guess what? A Nissan Leaf can tow just about as much as like a Ford F-150. So
No, it can't.
yes, the fuck it can. As a matter of fact,
If you're worried,
I'll bring this article to your attention.
if you're legitimately worried about speed, then why don't you just like take the steering wheel out and put everything on tracks? You know, have tracks, and then you can put your Nissan Leaf will go fucking 100 miles an hour from here to there.
We should have high-speed fucking rail system across this country because we're fucking America.
I agree with that sentiment wholeheartedly. Maria and I were talking about this the other day.
You guys were talking about the highway tracks?
Isn't she European?
Well,
Your wife?
sort of ish.
Well, enough to be like, y'all motherfuckers are idiots.
That's where it came up because she's from an island where she never had to drive. Like there was, but I was like, yeah, but your island was 9 miles by 14 miles. Like
fair.
So I was like,
England is a bigger island and they do it really well.
Yeah, it's a bigger island, but it's still small in comparison. Like, and so you can set up public transportation. And I was telling her, I was like, the main reason I want the Tesla with the autopilot is because I want to be able to go out and be responsible. Like, I don't go out and do a lot of fun things, like go to the bar, because I'm worried about the drive home. And I can remember going up to Newark and somebody's like, you can stay out, man. Just take an Uber. You know how much an Uber would cost me to go from Newark, Delaware to Conowingo, Maryland? That'd be about $100 on top of my bar tab. So no, that's not convenient, and I'm not doing it. It's just this country was built before we gave a shit about any of this stuff.
No, we made a decision and fucking we're like, all right, we don't have enough Asians to make more rail. What do we do? All right, let's make roads. Road sounds cool. We're going to fucking build cars and shit, Ford and all that. Yeah, we're going to fucking build roads.
Get those Irishmen in here.
This is going to be sweet. Get them fucking Irishmen in here. Tell them start laying fucking pavement from coast to coast, baby. Fucking let's go. And then we did it, and we were like, this is a big fucking country. This was impractical. This was dumb.
We need to be able to land fucking B-52 bombers on each and every bit of highway, just in case.
We were also very much influenced by definitely going to nuclear war with the USSR. So we're like, well, in case we got to turn Kansas into a fucking airfield, let's just build some roads.
Yeah, and also DWIs weren't a thing until like the late 70s. Before that, it was just like, Jerry's on the sauce again. What'd he do? He ran his fucking, Ford Fairlane into a tree. How's the tree?
Yeah, basically.
Because cars were made of steel beams.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then we just reinforced the Nissan Leaf with a couple.
Hey, man.
Things.
Look, let's take the cool thing from the New Deal and tax the fuck out of rich people and start building some high-speed rail, baby. Let's go. I'm down. Give Musk all of the fund, all of the government funding, so that he doesn't have to spend his own funding to not bore holes in the ground to give us fast trains. Like, let's do it. Tax the shit out of his ass and give it right back to him. Then say, here, build us a fucking railway system.
Or just follow the current system where you don't tax him because he's going to put all of his own money back into his own company so he can continue to build shit that doesn't work.
Are those yachts going back to his workers, motherfucker?
He doesn't have yachts. That's Bezos.
You're a fucking liar.
That's Bezos.
Motherfucker, do we need to pull up a yacht?
He might have one. That's not a big deal.
We're like 4.
He might have a 600-yarder.
Oh, my bad. He might not have a yacht. He's got a fucking spaceship.
That's a good
my
point.
Bad. My bad.
So when
he's got a space yacht.
Yeah,
So
he's got an electric one that can go into space and land on the Pacific Ocean and float around. It's eco-friendly.
Yeah, he's only gonna save the human race when we destroy ourselves, when none of these policies actually work.
And
as soon as he figures out how to bring an idea to fruition.
By the way,
the space yacht.
What I was talking about when I said tracks, I didn't mean rail tracks. I meant like tracks on, say, I-95. So you don't even drive anymore. It's just like something that like kind of magnetic, kind of like bumper cars. It just just fly down.
Like the things at Disney World.
Yeah.
Like, you just fucking like, yep.
Yeah.
Like the monorail.
if everybody would get on board with the self-driving car technology that Tesla's come up with, then that's essentially what it would be. Is that all the cars would just get in line behind each other and go where they're going.
Why
and
would
you
I
can go
ever
as
have to-
fast as you want?
Why would you ever want to drive? If the technology came out that says you don't ever have to drive again, I'm not saying I would like burn my fucking driver's license because obviously I need an ID to prove who I am. But I would nap everywhere all the time. Like boop, 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 home.
I mean, yes, but I would also Demolition Man at some point in time and take the cons and fucking go apeshit. So
What's Wesley Snipes' character's name?
I think that's perfectly reasonable, Alan. I think that's the whole point of I think that was the reason he started this whole self-driving thing. Is like, you can turn it on, you can turn it off. Turn it off when you want to drive like a real person, but then turn it on when, like Wes, believe me, when I started getting it in my head, I wanted a Tesla. I wanted to get another radio job, but I'm like, the only way I'm going to get a radio job, it's going to be an hour and a half drive away. So if I had a self-driving car and I could just boop, boop, turn it on, I'd wake up, I'd get in my car, boop, boop, go to work, go to sleep, wake up when I got to work, and then go to work. It just wouldn't even, it would be like my sleep time would just be interrupted by me walking to the car. That was my whole philosophy behind it.
You'd park in the far back parking lot so you could tug one out before you got onto. God, here we go. All right.
Nah, I just had the alarm go off 15 minutes early.
it's I don't know, man. I don't know if I could just. I mean, I could sleep because I could sleep in a car, fucking anytime. I'm like a toddler, but that seems sketchy. Like, what if you wake up like 2 hours later and you're not at work? You know what I'm saying?
It's a traffic jam. No?
Adventure.
No, I mean you're past work. It's back there now.
You punched in lane instead of street, and now you're in Jersey.
Or like you put it in like in fucking Pennsylvania, and it just so happens to be like a little bit further, and you're like, fuck, wrong town.
Damn, I didn't
mean Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I meant Lancaster, Maryland. Fuck.
Fuck wants to be in Allentown, PA.
Yeah. What's here?
All right, I'll tell you what's here. Here's Fun Fact Friday. Let's hear it.
That's right, my friends. It's time to get your brains full of knowledge you may or may not have known before. It's time for 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday, brought to you by the Shin Splints Recovery Group. If you have any pain below the knee and above the ankle and you need a like-minded set of sheeple like yourself to share in your misery and not your recovery, find the Shin Splints Recovery Group right now on Facebook. Let's get to it. OMG facts. It's Fun Fact Friday. Did you know every time you lick a stamp, you're consuming 1/10 of a calorie?
Oof.
No, I did not.
Damn. And what is that caloric intake? Just a bunch of fucking chemicals?
Yeah.
I think they actually have to put some sort of okay, do you remember the Seinfeld episode where George's wife dies because she's licking all the envelopes?
And he gets the cheap envelopes, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I think in these they're adding a little bit of a sweetener, a little bit of a sugar. Because sometimes you get those real nice tasty stamps. Like, ooh.
Go back for round 2.
Flavored stamps.
Yeah, do I have any more bills? 'Cause I'd love to pay them right now.
Just start mailing out fucking cards to people.
Your wife's
Early
asking,
Christmas cards.
why are you looking those so lovely?
But doesn't everything have calories in it? Honestly, like anything you're putting in your mouth, basically, it's got some sort of calorie attached to it.
1/10. I don't know. Like, the bottom side of your fingernail, but if you bite it.
Yeah, I would imagine like the
that's
dirt,
probably
the
got
grit.
that's probably got some energy in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very. I mean, 1/10 of a calorie. What is that? Like, whoa! There you go. I just burned it off. But I mean, that just letting you know, if you're licking more than, well, if you lick 10 stamps, you got yourself a whole calorie.
but you work for the post service. I mean, you should be fucking. Sorry.
I don't know shit about that. I'll tell you the same fucking thing I tell all these assholes on the street. That's a clerk job, okay? I don't know anything about what happens inside that building. You know what I do? I take all the shit they put in the building, and I take it out of the building.
Yeah.
That's my job.
So
okay?
are the clerks fat?
That really aggressive. It was those fucking cucks in the office. They don't get out on the streets like us fucking warriors.
I don't know anything about that motherfucker.
You know what, Alan? I have no argument against what you just said right there. Okay, look, yeah, they can complain. Okay, I got the clerks. They're outside. They're smoking a cigarette. Like, ooh, cold out here today. Yeah, it's not going to be when you walk inside in 5 minutes, is it? You're out here voluntarily. I'm out here 6 hours a goddamn day dealing with it, and then dealing with the fuckers that have questions that you should be answering, but they're too lazy to come here to ask you. So you know what they do? They ask me. So I have to know your job and my job just so I can answer their questions for you when I'm on the street.
Seems like a conspiracy, if you ask me.
It's not a conspiracy.
It sounds like a grievance needs to be filed at work.
You're goddamn right it does.
Listen,
but you know what would happen? Nothing.
Nothing.
Lick the stamp, file the grievance, get 1/10 of a calorie, move on with your life. All right.
You guys touched a nerve, by the way. I'm sorry.
That was me. I touched a nerve. I'm sorry. I'll touch more if you'd like, but go ahead.
Okay. All right. Did you know more germs are transferred by shaking hands than by kissing?
God,
I
what is
did
this?
not know that.
Is this like the transfer fucking, did you know? You lick, you get a calorie. You shake hands, you got germs. I don't know, though. That does seem weird.
Well,
a
you do
handshake.
get more calories from licking the stamp than touching the stamp.
Do you gain 1/10 of a calorie by tongue kissing some girl at a fucking party?
Good question.
Or a man?
Probably.
Yeah.
But you also burn some calories, so I think you're a net, net neg person.
Depending on how aggressive you're going in with the tongue, I guess.
Was she eating candies before you started making out? Because you might get some of that sugar could offset the calories being burnt.
Was she drinking Zima with Jolly Ranchers?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really come back. Why are you asking me this? I have no idea what you're talking about.
You asked the question. I'm just saying. I wouldn't. Okay, the transfer of germs, but I know you guys do this to me, but I'm going to do this to myself this time around. Mm-hmm. But are you more likely to be, though there's less of a germ transfer with the kiss, aren't you more likely to ingest the germs than you would be from the touching of the hands?
Sure.
Or is it that you might touch your face, you're going to stick your finger in your nose? I know I pick my nose a lot. Are you going to lick something like, get that moisture on your finger? Like, is the transfer going to happen later on?
Well, like lick something, bite your fingernails, eat something. There's a ton of ways you're doing that a lot. But I do know is that I ain't catching herpes by shaking anybody's hands. I do know that.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, I guess. that's the main concern.
How many calories in herpes?
How, like, if you lick a herpes sore, what do you
a
think?
Single herpes? Or like a bunch of herpes? No,
well, I mean, I hope you're not licking. Well, I hope it's just one. but like,
I would imagine after you got the one, you'd be like, I'm going to avoid the other ones.
The backside of a stamp's 1/10 of a calorie. What do you think? After you got done tongue kissing this person, we'll use pronouns. You'd be sitting there like mouthing the ridge of their herpes-filled lips. You're burning calories, or you're gaining calories. I don't know.
Which lips are you talking about? Because I'm pretty sure if you're walking into a cold sore situation, you're probably not.
I think you're burning.
Who I like.
I think you're burning calories and gaining germs. I think so.
I got my eye. I got my eye on that crusty lipped one over there.
That's the one like in the corner, and then it steps out into like a black light shadow. Like, hey, ooh! All right, pushing my chips in.
Well, I'm already committed.
Yeah. All right, so you get don't handshake people. If you do, wear a rubber glove. Don't put one on your tongue.
So next time you're walking into a very important job interview, just go for the kiss.
Right.
That's the takeaway.
I want this job. Come here, Cliff, Maria.
Did you know SOS does not stand for Save Our Ship or anything else at all? It simply is the easiest code to transmit via Morse code.
Ooh, I didn't know that, but I wonder how the layperson translated that to Save Our Ship.
Because most of the time, because of ships and their orientation to like land, like they used, what do you call that machine? The telegraph.
Yeah.
They use that more than anything else. And so the ships were using it more than anything else because everybody else had actual verbal communication. And so boop, 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 boop. They're like, oh, save our ship. But no, it's just S is 3 dots, O is 3 long dashes, and S is the 3 dots again. So beep, 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 beep. So you can tap that out all day.
Yeah. And it saved us during Independence Day. That's how they, when all radio communication and satellite communication was down, we resorted to Morse code and told the Indians and the Ukrainians that were concocting COVID, said, "Hey, go up into the middle where that thing opens up. Put your tongue in there.
Go into that Ukrainian Fauci lab and get herpes.
Lick that intergalactic herpes sore. That's the way to kill them.
Less germs and less calories."
Ridiculous.
Jesus H. Christ. Here's the question. Okay, I've thought about this because I actually tried to learn Morse code at one point. I didn't get very far, but
Sorry. I wasn't laughing at you, I swear.
No, I remember sitting down. Okay, you guys. Okay, go ahead and laugh at this because this is you're allowed to laugh at this. I understand how ridiculous I can be sometimes. Fully aware, but I printed out like the Morse code like cheat sheet where it told you what each letter was, and then I listened to some old like Morse code like messages on YouTube, and I got about 30 seconds down. Like, this ain't ever happening. There's no way. Like those motherfuckers, like that was another language. So if the world collapses, like how will we communicate? Like if all this shit that we have now, like landlines go down, fucking internet's done. Let's say we do have some rudimentary like radio communication, but we don't have microphones. Like how do we do it?
Yeah,
how will we survive?
Which is kind of the beauty of that scene from Interstellar where he translates all the data via Morse code to Murphy. Murph, is his daughter who ends up creating these planets or these planetary things away from Earth. Now how long? I mean, you sat there and for years and years and years, and you get all the data collected, yada yada. But I think you're right. I think that's how it's going to have to be done. It's a universal language.
Yeah. It is a universal. Yeah. Yes, it is. It's a
that in mathematics,
language.
But in math is going to have to be translated another way. I mean, right? You can't just. James
math's
Field,
bullshit. I don't care. Math's bullshit.
Yeah.
The way my kids learn in math now. By the way, here you go, Alan. You'll be proud of me for this. The core curriculum on math is absolutely right. New math. Is absolutely right. Do I understand it? Nope. Not a lick. But it's logic. It ain't even math anymore. It's logic.
Yeah. No. So I saw this with like my nieces and stuff, and then like obviously Kelly was a teacher, so she understood it. And I was like, huh. I was like, because I sucked at math. I was terrible at fucking math when I was younger, and like some kind of epiphany happened when I was finishing up at UMBC, and I was like, oh shit, I'm actually like halfway decent at it. I'm not as bad as I thought I was. But I began to like, I think my more mature brain was able to like logically analyze mathematics and be like, oh, okay, that makes some sense. So like the way that they teach them to do it is how I do shit in my head. Like division and multiplication and like large addition and subtract, like that's how it happens in my head. So I'm like, huh, if they had just taught me this, I probably would have fucking, I don't know, been a math major. No, that's a fucking lie.
No, that's a lie. No, but like I might have been a like theoretical physicist in some capacity.
Yeah.
Because the numbers don't mean shit. Like, check this out, Wes. This is how the basic math, right? Okay, we'll just do easy numbers like 12 plus. Let's just keep it simple. 12 plus 12, right?
Okay.
24. Because you're putting the 12 over top of the 12. You're doing the 2s, you're doing the 1. Boom, boom, boom. What they're telling them to do, take those 2s away. So it's 10 plus 10. You know 10s. That's 20. Now add the 2s together. That's 4. Put them back together. It's 24. Like they're like teaching them how to manipulate like the number sequences. And then the other day I was looking at like all, because I'm weird, I was looking at all like the great what do you call them? The theorems, like Pythagoras'
Pythagorean theorem, and
the Pythagorean theorem. And then you get all the way down. The simplest one of them all, which is the most important, is the theory of relativity. E equals mc squared. E don't mean shit. E is energy. Equals mass. Doesn't mean shit. Times the fucking speed of light squared. That's it. None of those numbers, none of those letters have numbers attached to them. You apply whatever number you're dealing with based on whatever it is. Like, if I blew up, what is the theory of relativity based on this White Claw can? I don't know. How much energy is in this can? 100 calories equals its mass, 12 ounces, times the speed of light squared. How big a nuke is a White Claw can? I could do that math. I could do that math.
It's 100,000 postage stamp licks. I'll tell you that.
All right, yeah, we're definitely getting in the weeds on this. Did you know when you're trying to figure out the nuclear capabilities of a White Claw can, you've gone too far or had too many White Claws? Did you know if the population of China began walking past you in single file, the line would never end because of the rate of reproduction?
Oh, they're saying, okay. For a minute, I thought you were going to say like 35 years. Like I was waiting for the punchline. And then, I understand. Yes, there's some people at the back of the line that are going to be like, 9 months later, you get another one. Yeah. But what is it now? 1.4 billion, 1.3 billion?
I think it's about 2.
Yeah, I think it's probably in that ballpark.
And India is inching closer and will pass them, right? Is that
China's at 1.4?
Okay.
Really? What's India at?
We're looking at it. It's probably similar, honestly.
I think it's like a 1, like what, like or just under
1.38. So China's 1.402.
Wow.
India is 1.38.
Okay. So
think about this. There's 7 billion people on the earth, and like that means almost half of them are in those 2 continents.
Yeah. They
countries, yeah.
And they don't understand Morse code. Probably not.
I don't know. The Chinese are probably learning that in the fucking womb.
They probably have their own Morse code that we don't even know about.
Right.
But that's the thing. I don't know how to look at this. I mean, because I'm thinking about, well, a stupid baby can't walk. But I'm wondering that if by the time, like, the first person in line walks past you and then that child is born, does it take that long for the rest of that population to come around that child would then be able to walk? And then, again, another one's born. And so by the time the people that can walk past you, that baby is actually able to walk by the time that his number in line gets up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly some logistical issues to this. You have to like start with my thought is that you start with the old ones. It goes in order of operations. Something they're probably not teaching the kids these days. But you have the oldest people to the youngest, and they're walking past you. But that's also assuming that people between the ages of 16 and 20 are having sex while they're walking. So the man's like, here, come here, grab me. And then the woman is then holding the child until it's able to walk, which is about, 14 months? 9 months, 8 to 14 months or whatever. And then, baby starts walking, it's walk on its own. And then by the time it gets to be, reproductive, and it's
okay.
Yeah.
I think what we're thinking is absolutely accurate, because just a quick quick maths. So I put 1.4. Hypothetically speaking, one person takes 1 second to walk by you. We're cool with that, right? For math simplification purposes. All right. So 1.4 billion seconds is 16,203 days.
Which is how many years?
I don't fucking know.
Divided by 365. Come on, man. You know the math. You know the math.
Here. Tell me the number. It's
I got it.
16,000 what?
I got it. It's right here. Relax. 44.39 calendar years.
God, I'm 39. I'm going to be fucking dead.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Wow.
I hope not, but we'll see.
So by the time the original 1.4 billion ends, 44 years have passed.
But can we also say that reproduction, just in case? So I'm 39. You're talking about how many years? 40, 43 years?
44.
44.3.
There's a fair shot that we might get to the end of that. But in order to reproduce, there's going to have to be a guy that's going to have to walk while holding a woman up and impregnating her. He's going to have to keep walking, which is no small task. And then she's going to have to hop down and then be impregnated.
I think all couples of birthing age get baby Bjorns, and then they just rig each other up, and then they keep on walking to keep the line going, and then they just squirt them out, and throw them to the back. That's my thought. That's my hypothesis.
Mur, is this how you saw this going?
No, actually, I saw it as that they've already put out 1.4 billion, so they've probably already figured that out. Like they probably. I mean, Asian women are really light.
Gotcha.
That's also true. I mean, that's that's probably true.
And though Asian men are small, they're very wiry.
Yeah,
good gymnasts.
Yeah,
martial arts training. It works.
By the way, do you know fucking Chuck Norris is 82 today?
No,
82 years old today.
I did read that, and that beard looks every minute of 45.
He's beautiful. They had to fucking pull his DNA out and inject that into kids.
Yeah, is that really a thing that you do?
Oh, that sounds.
I guess.
Illegal.
Okay, he should have kids.
That sounds like something that happens in a Ukrainian lab run by Anthony Fauci.
They should have him teach karate to people. He never did that.
No. Yeah, it just seems like a life of healthy eating and active lifestyle. It might lead to something positive.
82 years young, born in 1940. Good for him, Mr. Chuck Norris. Hey, before we go, listen.
I'm not done. I've got one more fun fucking fact.
Oh, we've had so much fun with these facts. Let's go. Give me one more.
Fact me up, bitch.
Jesus. Fuck, and it's the most important fact of the fucking night, too. God damn you, Wes. Finally, did you know Frosted Flakes mascot Tony the Tiger has a wife, a son, and a daughter that were used in the first commercials?
They could walk past me in 4 seconds, so fuck it. I don't give a shit. The whole
Especially
time.
with the amount of sugar they've got fucking consumed in their fucking DNA. And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
Why'd they give up on the whole fam?
It just doesn't really work. I don't know. Because Tony's got to fucking be everywhere. So, he's got to leave the family behind. He's got to travel to, yell at some kid on a fucking alpine ski slope that's feeling a little run down. Like, dude, put some fucking corn and sugar in your body. That way you can perform.
Yeah. I think it's probably he's got to maintain an energy level, and if he travels with the kids, he's not going to be up to perform when he needs to.
Right?
How's he going to get that snowboarder down Mount Everest if he doesn't bring his A game?
Yeah. I mean, high fructose corn syrup would be my guess, but yeah, you're right. It could just be great Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, I don't know what did you think? Did you think Michael Jordan made it that way without Wheaties? I don't understand your logic.
And
God damn it! This brings up another fucking point I'd like to make.
If that's the case, Doug Flutie didn't make it anywhere without Fruity Flakes. So let's be clear, and
Wheaties are just Frosted Flakes without the fucking frosting. We're all aware of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can brand it however they want. They can call it wheat. It's not wheat. It's fucking cornflakes. It's cornflakes, and fucking Frosted Flakes are just fucking cornflakes, frosting on them. This is why flow cakes are still and always will be a good fucking idea. All I'm asking is the good folks at fucking Honeycomb to put a sugary frosting on your goddamn product and fucking rebrand it. That's all I'm asking you to do.
And give us some residuals.
I don't even think that there are people that work at Honeycomb. I think you just petitioned to just a managerialist brand. It's just there. Like one day a week, like the worst employee at the fucking Post cereals plant is like, well, got to fill these boxes today. Nobody eats this garbage.
And I don't disagree with you. I just want my cut of a fucking calorie blank fucking product that just fills you up in the morning with a hearty glass of whole milk.
Like the worst possible breakfast you could eat.
No.
I don't care. I've got all the fucking commercials in my head ready to fucking roll. All I need is some fucking shit artist, some intern out of a fucking college to fucking pen that shit, ink it, and fucking put it on the goddamn silver screen for gold. That's your fun fact Friday.
All right. Before you guys go, the maker of Stolichnia Vodka announced a major rebrand Friday in a direct response to its founders' quote, vehement position against the Putin regime and Russia in their invasion against Ukraine. So they're going to rebrand it simply as Stoli.
Stoli.
Yeah.
Because everyone called it Stolichnaya before. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Doesn't work.
Yeah. It doesn't work?
No, it doesn't work. Because Stoli is still a fucking Russian fucking name to me. So I'm not going to.
Yeah.
You gotta rename it.
It hasn't been Russian made for a while because he hates Putin and he moved the production out of Russia a long time ago and moved it to Latvia, Russia light.
Right. There's Latvians.
I think it's 4 on the list behind Ukraine on Putin's agenda.
Any vodka company, listen to me right fucking now, that has like solid Russian roots, rename your vodka Zelensky.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You're done. You just won. You just won the vodka wars.
Right. In the Auto Parts King and Tommy Boy was Ray Zelensky.
That's true.
I make vodka for the American working man because that's who I am.
He was also Ray Zelensky was also a very famous Jewish Nazi auto parts maker.
That's right. He made parts for VW.
Yeah. He had a portrait of Goebbels in his office.
Uh-huh.
It was weird.
No, all you have to do, any vodka maker that is Russian based, that's not based in Russia any longer and wants to cut ties, name your vodka Zelensky vodka and fucking put his face on your fucking bottle and donate a quote unquote percentage of sales to the continuation of a free Ukraine. And you just won the vodka. You will fucking outsell any vodka maker in America, at least, for the next year.
I don't know.
Probably. Other than maybe Tito's, but
$7 billion in sales last year.
Yeah, people drink that shit, bro.
Yeah,
Let's see what this year holds.
Perhaps. Well, we'll see. I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time I drank Stoli, but whatever. Fucking man, it rings true to my yesteryear, my teenager self.
Can't tell you the last time I drank vodka. I'm a fucking 35-year-old man.
I'll tell you, Wes's brother got me on the fucking Tito's, and it's fucking it's legit. Like, it does not taste like vodka.
I was gonna say that's a lie. I will. I'll get me a transfusion out on the golf course in a heartbeat. Yeah, jazz me up some of that fucking Tito's, lady. A drink, lady. Bring that Stoli over here. That Tito's over here. We're gonna get the swing lube moving.
All right, before we get carried away, Alan, tell the kiddos where you can find the Middle Classholes.
On the motherfucking internet. So we, of course, are on all your favorite social media platforms, folks. That's Twitter and Instagram at MDL Classholes. We're the Middle Classholes on Facebook. And, of course, TikToking our way into your hearts, check us out as Middle Classholes on TikTok, giving you, funny clips, maybe some dances soon. I don't know. I've been feeling like dancing recently. I got a wedding coming up. Got to brush up. It's been a little while. So might see me cutting a rug, doing some goofy shit, dancing to Doja Cat. I don't even know what that is, but I'll do it.
Dressed up as Little Sweet.
Dressed up as Little Sweet.
It's a sweetness.
Yeah, dude, I am fucking Little Sweet. Absolutely goddamn believable. Anyway, guys, for your ear holes, your listening pleasures, of course, check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and of course, our favorite mode of communication. It looks like Murr's gearing up for something to tell us that tickleourtummies@gmail.com might have gotten us an email this week. Murr?
That's right. I believe we guilted old Keith into finally penning something to the keyboard, and he said, just finished listening to this week's episode and want to let you know that I enjoyed it. I found it particularly interesting to hear Alan talk about how mushrooms were a great cure for mental illness, but Big Pharma buried the research. I was wondering if it was a QAnon segment. Looking forward to hearing what other interesting scientific research you guys are going to share next week.
And next week on the Middle Classholes.
Next week on the Middle Classholes, we talk about how the U.S. government covered up fucking the use of medicinal mushrooms so that they could sell Xanax to people for the next 50 years. No,
I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I 100% believe it.
Yeah, it's I learned about it at my liberal indoctrination academy when I was getting my undergrad. So if UMBC is flipping out, liberal propaganda, well then fuck, maybe I didn't learn as much as I thought I learned. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty well known fact that go ahead.
I learned that Reefer Madness came about because who was the media magnate from the late 40s through the 60s?
McCarthy.
That one guy.
McCarthyism.
God
no.
Damn it, the guy that they made the fucking movie with the Rosebud. God damn it.
All right, folks. Well, we've had a swell time. It's time to close this out.
Anyway, not Rupert Murdoch. He's the fucking owner. This guy started Fox News. Anyway, he owned all the lumber mills because he owned all the newspapers, and then hemp came around, and they were like, "Hey, hemp is a better fucking paper fucking plant," and so he was like, "Nah, we gotta fucking squash that bullshit." So I learned this from the Joe Rogan Experience that he went out and he bought all the hemp fields, and then he told the U.S. government that marijuana was a psychoactive fucking drug that was dangerous to all the public, and so that way they would fucking make hemp and marijuana illegal so that they wouldn't use it as a paper product, and so that way he could keep his lumber mills, which were actually more successful than his newspapers, and then also squash pot as a alternative to alcohol or any other substance that humans want to consume.
That makes perfect fucking sense. You use hemp for fucking everything.
Whack ass busters.
Yeah.
Well, hey, folks.
Paper, all types of shit.
If you get caught producing, manufacturing, selling, or distributing a fake COVID vaccination card, damn, I'm trying to reference something that happened tonight. What happened when we talk about? I don't know.
Candace Owens might tell you.
Yeah, I hope.
Crazy.
Poop in the face.
That's right. I hope
you might get poop in the face.
I hope on your way home that someone took a dump in the bag and just smashes that shit in your fucking grill. Good night, everybody.